Hello and welcome back everybody to physics class. Man oh man, first of all I want to apologize if last episode I wasn't quite so entertaining in the second part. But first of all I was really trying hard to understand what was going on with the airplane. And also I was a bit bored, to be honest. Like, I like physics, but I don't know. I wasn't ready for that that day. Anyway, let's see what our trio of airplane enthusiasts are doing now. However, by trying it out for ourselves, we were able to get real understanding of the role of the wings. By just changing the shape of the wings a little, you can make them fly in many different ways.
実際の飛行機には補助翼などの小さな翼がついている。それらを調節することで機体を操作するんだ。
As she explained, Amane moved to the side of the garage. Then she lovingly laid her hand on the glider. Is that supposed to be then she lovingly laid her hand on the glider?
このグライダーにはエンジンはついていない。
Yeah, that is why it is a glider.
紙飛行機を大きく頑丈にしてコックピットを取り付けただけのものなんだ。
Kotori and I looked at the paper airplanes in our hands. I imagined riding it and flying through the sky. This is just like the fantasies I envisioned as a kid. The glider in front of me was the real thing. Yeah, to be honest,
どうだ？作れそうな気がしてきただろ？
to be honest, I would like flying in a glider at some point too. But it's probably quite expensive. I don't know, actually I've never checked. I should do that. I remember when I was a kid, we quite often visited, well, not quite often, like 2 or 3 times actually. We made holidays in the Black Forest, and you'd see gliders there all the time, like all the time. Sometimes there even were balloons and stuff. Actually, what I wouldn't do is ride a balloon, because that is fucking scary. No railway, no rails and stuff like that. No, not with me. But an actually closed glider, that would be pretty cool. I'd do that. But it doesn't have an engine. How does it fly? Paper airplanes gain thrust by being thrown by people.
風に乗って飛ぶんだ。
Both I and Kotori gazed at the white aircraft. That day we saw this flying from Windmill Hill. Riding the wind, that expression expresses it so perfectly, the way it flew so smoothly and calmly.
風に乗って。
Amane nods happily.
そして上昇気流に乗ってどこまでも舞い上がる。どこまでも？ああ、雲の上にだって行けるんだぞ。雲の上？
I don't know, do you? But I think you need the right wind circumstances for that, don't you? Kotori looked at the aircraft with an expression of disbelief. I also couldn't imagine that this thing flying above the clouds. Jesus, the text gets more filled with mistakes as the novel goes on. Have you been there? Above the clouds?
それがな。
Suddenly her mood drops.
組み上がったのがついこの間で、ようやくテストフライトにこぎつけたんだが。
Testo flight.
あの時だ。
Kotori and I reacted by exchanging glances.
強度が足りなかったみたいで、途中で主翼が折れてしまった。
What? That seems very dangerous. So you mean...
危ないところだった。もし完全に折れていたら湖に落ちて死んでいたかもな。
That's why I feel you shouldn't make students their own glider. And also, I feel like this is kind of illegal, just building a glider and flying around with it in a place that is not, you know, an officially place to do that. I think, at least in Germany, you have to start from an official place where that is allowed. I feel, at least. Maybe I'm wrong. She laughed as she spoke.
また作り直さないといけない。私は手先があまり器用じゃないからな。
And this is where our man Aoi comes into play, huh?
それと 一部のケーキが故障してるのも分かったんだが、代わりの部品が手に入らなくて困っている。自分で作っちゃえばいいんじゃないの？
Kotori said that so easily. At a school where things like this are taught, they have all the equipment you need to make anything, from a screw to an airplane.
そうもいかなくてな。
Amane, with a troubled look on her face, took some broken parts from a drawer.
ダイヤフラムといって待機速度計に組み込まれている部品なんだが、特注品でこれを作った工場がとっくの昔に潰れてしまっているんだ。
Kotori and I gazed at the parts in the palm of Amane's hand. It certainly looks like it wouldn't be easy to make. If it's the kind of thing that can be made in the town factory, there might be something that can be done about it. Amane's eyes light up as I quietly mumble.
本当か？
Well, I don't know until I ask, but I know someone like that. Oh, is that Anchan?
頼む。それがないと本当に困るんだ。
Okay, I'll try asking next time I see him. Can I borrow this?
ありがとう。君に救われるのはこれで3度目だ。
Whoa! Suddenly she gives me a full-on hug and we're even cheek to cheek.
ありがとう。ありがとう。
Hey, we didn't fix anything yet. You can thank me once I've actually got it.
そういえばそうだったな。でもご飯のお礼も兼ねているんだ。
Hey, I mean, I'm not complaining. You know, there are worse ways to be thanked. Actually, I hate being hugged by random people. But I'd make an exception for that lady. Also, she's probably in my age, so it's all good.
だからもう一回感謝の気持ちを表させてくれ。
No, that's enough. Seriously.
そうか？
Kotori was sullenly glaring at me. I wonder if this will really fly. Kotori and I both gazed at the glider with the same look on our faces.
ところで君たち、もしグライダーに興味があるのなら、その、
The bell rings, interrupting Amane. Amane flinches in surprise and quickly turns her back to us. If you're interested, what is it?
いや、いいんだ。忘れてくれ。
Come on, you probably wanted to ask if they want to join the club or something like that. Somehow it seems she's avoiding something. Yeah, weird. Why? Amane?
なんだ？
Can I come and see you again?
あ、もちろんだ。興味があるならいつでも来てくれ。
I have to bring her to those parts as well.
君もまた見に来てくれ。
As Kotori nods, Amane grins as she nods back. She's really beautiful, but her smile somehow makes her look like a little kid. Alright, shall we go back to the classroom? I started pushing Kotori's wheelchair and decided to start walking.
どこ連れて行く気？
The classroom, of course.
やだ、やめて。私お腹空いてるの。お昼食べてないから。
And that is really your fault, lady. You can reap what you sow. Yeah, you reap what you sow.
やだってもう。押さないで。
I brought Kotori with me against her wishes, and we returned to the classroom.
Aoi!
I went back to the dormitory and someone called out to me when I was at the gate.
Aoi!
Anshan! When I saw who it was, he has a weird body. Like he has... am I the only one who's thinking that right now? Like he has like a really small chest and waist, but those big shoulders. Oh well. When I saw who it was, my level of enthusiasm went up by 500%. Standing there was Anshan. I was thinking about going to see you tomorrow or somewhen.
お前に早く会いたくて仕事抜けてきちまった。久しぶりだな、葵。
Anshan ruffles my hair. Hey, stop that, will you? Completely ignoring my attempts to resist, Anshan gives me a noogie, grinding my hair round and round. I think that my hair is probably messed up pretty badly now. This is Tatsuya Tatsuya Igarashi, commonly known as Anshan. He's a childhood friend of Ageha and mine, and is like a real big brother to us. Or was, until I cut contact. He's much older than us, but we used to play together a lot as kids. Ah, jeez, you're messing up my hair.
悪い。昔を思い出してついな。
You haven't changed either, Anshan. Still the same as before.
おいおい、それ褒め言葉じゃないぞ。
Oh, isn't it?
そうさ。人は人どころに停滞してちゃいけない。変わっていくもんだ。
What Anshan says is true, but to me, I'd rather Anshan just stays the same as he is now. As I think about that, Anshan all of a sudden has a kind look on his face.
足、もういいのか。
Yeah, well, enough for everyday life.
そうか。大変だったな。
It's no big deal. I can have a normal life like this. On top of that, I had you there to watch me in the race where I tried the hardest.
あれはいいレースだったな。表彰台に乗ったお前、かっこよかったぞ。
I came third though. In my previous school, I was in the cycle racing club. In the final race of the first grade, I was able to take the third spot on the podium. It was my best result. For that race, Anshan traveled a long way to come and watch me. It gets more and more unbelievable that he lost contact to these people.
3位でも立派だ。
I feel like this is only story convenience. Like, oh, we didn't have contact and stuff like that, but actually we're all friends and it's more or less like we saw each other yesterday. Because of Anshan's kindness, I feel a little tearful. He sensed how I was feeling and started to mess up my hair again. This time it wasn't so rough.
今はここの寮母をやってるんだってな。
Yeah.
飛び魚はそうか。懐かしいな。
We used to play here a lot. We would come sneaking in.
ああ、そうだったな。
That wasn't what Anshan was talking about just now?
ところで、あの子もここの寮生か？
Or was he the boarding mother of this place as well at some point? Someone was hiding in the shadow of the gate. Kotori. It looked like she couldn't get past because Anshan and I were in the way. She could have just spoke to us normally, but instead she was hiding and watching
こん
us.
にちは、お嬢さん。
こんにちは。
Kotori was still being cautious, but returned the greeting. Then we got out of her way, then went into her composed mode, and entered the dormitory.
あの子、ここの子だったのか。
You know her?
ああ、時々街で見かける。うちの工場の近くにでかい犬がいるだろ。
Pedigree. There's a big dog that goes by that name. I'm sure it was a Saint Bernard.
昨日はペディグリーの近くをうろうろしてたな。
Was she by any chance trying to stroke his head?
ああ、そんな感じだった。食い物をあげたりしてたんだが、あの犬、飼い主の餌以外食べないからな。
As I thought. That was in the things I want to do list. Stroke the head of the big dog in the neighborhood. Yeah, I remember. So she was skipping school to go and do things like that. Well, I'll forget about Kotori for now. A good question though, before you do that, Aoi, let me just think about this. What is her list things I want to do all about? Like, I don't want to go very dark, but like suicide or something. But is this maybe like a list of things she wants to do before she has to leave this place because she's dropping out, or you know, whatever the word was that I just forgot? The word that was on the piece of paper. Well,
おかえり、葵。
it's good to be back, Anshan. I seemed a little embarrassed as I answered, and Anshan grinned at me.
困ったことがあったら遠慮なく頼れ。俺はお前らのあんちゃんなんだからな。
Parting with those words, Anshan turned to leave. Oh, that's right, Anshan. I know this is a bit soon, but I have a favor to ask. I took the parts that Amane had left with me out of my bag. Along with it was a memo with the dimensions and so on written down. I need some parts the same as these. Would you be able to get one? Anshan's family runs a factory. It is known as the Town Factory, and it seems that they manufacture special order-made parts. Anshan works there right now. If Anshan can't do it, he might be able to use his connections with other engineers to introduce me to other factories. Anshan looks at the broken parts and the memo.
ダイヤフラムか。ああ、いいぞ。
He quickly answered.
手に入ったら連絡する。
Thanks, Anshan.
いいって。
I wonder if this isn't expensive. Like, I don't know. But hey, man, maybe Anshan's family is really rich. Do you get really rich with a town factory? Now I wonder. Anshan raised one hand and turned to leave. Thanks to the fact that I was able to meet Anshan, I went back to my room in a good mood. Oh, he actually has a bike still, even though he can't. Well, I guess he probably can cycle in a normal way still. I put my hand on the saddle of the bicycle in the corner of my room. I'm proud to have been able to stand on the podium in front of a buddy like Anshan.
高そうな自転車ね。
Before I realized, Kotori was next to me. What are you doing here?
さっき一緒に入ってきたの気づいてなかったの？
I hadn't realized. That seems unlike. To be honest, I don't think you can be that quiet with a wheelchair. But maybe it is a real... Wait a minute, wasn't it creaking like this morning? Oh well. Without answering my question, Kotori opened a drawer in the desk.
ここね。違った。
Ah, she's looking for the piece of paper.
こっちかしら。
It looks like she's searching for something.
ない。おかしい。絶対持ってるはずなのに。
Hey, he has it on him. He is a good hider. There was nothing that I didn't want her to see, so I was unfazed when I questioned her. Yeah, I mean, don't you have like underwear and stuff somewhere? That is not really appropriate, but I guess. Anyway, what are you doing?
探し物よ。見てわかるでしょ？
I know, but shouldn't you at least get the consent of the owner of the room?
あなたこそ早く返しなさいよ。持ってるの。わかってるのよ。
Got what?
だから。
Apparently she was looking for the withdrawal. Ah, there we go, that's the word I forgot. For the withdrawal notice that I had picked before. I don't know what you're looking for, but I don't think it is in here.
言い方が怪しい。絶対持ってるに違いないんだから。
Hey, if you had listened to Aoi in the first place, then you wouldn't have that problem. Oh, I just realized there is a little airplane in the text box down in the right corner. Huh. Did you say something?
別に。
Seems like her search has come to a stop. However, Kotori isn't leaving the room and continues looking around the room.
私、男の子の部屋に入るなんて初めて。結構片付いてるのね。もっとゴミためみたいなのを想像してた。
You should come by me. You could actually like tidy this place up. I don't have many things. Yeah, that is actually... I have way too much stuff. That is my main problem. And actually my stuff is like 95% books and comics. That is the that is actually the main problem. Like I don't actually own a lot except for way too many books and way too many mangas and comics. Sometimes I plan to sell them, but then I'm feeling like at some point you're gonna read them again, and then it always ends up in my room being stuffed with nonsense. Thanks to that, moving house was easy. Kotori was staring straight at the bike, which gave off a unique presence in my room.
あなた、足どうかしたの？
Ah, she listened. I was wondering how she would know. I panicked at being asked so frankly. It's no big deal. Looks like she was listening to my conversation with Anshan. I just had a bit of an injury, but look, it's fine now. I lightly swing my leg to show her.
転校してきたのはその怪我のせいなの？
It's fine, really. Why do you ask?
別になんとなく。
I guess she kinda, feels you in that regard, since she's in a wheelchair. There's no need for you to worry about it. Now you're sounding like her.
誰が心配なんてしたのよ。してません。1ミリたりともしてません。じゃあね、時間の無駄だったわ。
Kotori makes a straight face and goes back to her room. You're going again tomorrow, aren't you?
Huh?
To the garage. At lunch.
い
I'm not going, is what it felt like she was going to say.
行くわよ
She answered and panicked as she left my room. Looked like I should make 3 lunchboxes this time. Hey, if nobody eats your shit, that might actually be a good idea. And another new day. As of now, no decisions, whoops. Accidentally hit the place where my microphone is standing. That is interesting, actually. Also, we didn't really get to know any of the girls in the dormitory yet. Jesus, I feel like this visual novel really will be long. This will probably be like Clannad length, won't it? How many episodes did I do of Clannad? And I wasn't even at the end. Like 120 or something like that. Jesus Christ. Oh well. Let's see if we actually get to the end. I guess we'll at least get into the end of a route. Today didn't go well either. Today's breakfast was another dismal failure. All of the boarders showed their faces in the dining hall for breakfast, but the only one who finished her meal was Kanako. Hey, I start feeling Kanako, you know. We don't even know her, but she eats food. That is relatable. There must have been something wrong with it. All I have to do is make meals and clean. What a piece of cake. Is what I thought when I accepted the job as a dorm mother, but my confidence is gradually fading.
何しけた面してんだよ、この裏切り者め。
What do you want? Masatsugu, joining me on the way to school, went out of his way to come and sling verbal abuse. A few things happened at the dormitory. Dealing with girls can be tough.
そういうことなら俺に聞け。何せ俺今彼女いるもんね。
Yeah. Isn't she a freshman at Seisen Girls' School? Seisen Girls' School is a school for rich girls and is famous even in this neighborhood. The uniform has a reputation for being cute, so fans come from far and wide just to take a look. Ew.
エリちゃんって言うんだけどさ、写真見る？
He looks like he's about to show me, so I go along with it. Whoa, seriously, she's cute. You won't even fucking show me? Is there no I steal the girlfriend of my best friend route?
一緒にバンドやってんだ。エリちゃんがボーカルとベースで、俺がギター。
Mabo, you can play guitar.
エリちゃんのために必死に練習した。今じゃインギー並みの早弾きだってできるぜ。
That sounds like someone from a Korean band, but I'm not sure. Da ra ra ra, he goes as he shows off some great air guitar. Anyway, who the hell is Yinghui?
お前さ、前の学校で自転車やってたんじゃねえの？
Yeah, I was. What about it?
もうやんねえわけ？でも、うちには自転車部なんてねえけど。
So Anchan knows about the lag, but Mabo doesn't. Okay. Maybe he didn't want anyone to know. Yeah, I don't do it anymore. Masatsugu's face seemed to say, it's got nothing to do with me though.
でっかい大会で表彰台に上がったんだ。
Did you hear that from Anchan?
アゲハもホタルも今度のレースは応援にくっついてくってアンちゃんに言ってたんだぜ。
Oh, Hotaru, I completely forgot. We didn't meet her. I guess it's a her? Yet?
まあ、一応俺もだけど
That made me go a bit red.
な。勘違いすんなよ。俺はお前がブザマに負けるところを見に行くつもりだったわけで。別に応援なんかするつもりなかったんだからな。
Yeah, I get it. Don't get so flustered.
アゲハのやつ悔しがってたぞ。お前のいいとこ見られなくて。お前そういうの分かってんのか？
No, I didn't know. I never thought that I would make it to the podium. Even if I knew it was too far away for me to say, come and watch me. Also, we didn't keep contact. What in the world? This gets... I know. Jesus, I'm like a broken... Okay, I swear to God it's the last time I'll mention this. But this... the thing that they didn't keep contact just seems like a Very weak excuse to introduce character and plot points. Like, this makes no sense at all.
なのにろくに連絡もよこさねえでよ。
Yeah, see? Same goes for both of us. Besides, I sent you a New Year card every year, didn't I?
あんなコンビニで売ってるプリント済みのやつでか。
You did the same thing! Anyway, your New Year cards usually arrive at the end of January.
返してもらえるだけありがたいと思え、この。
おお、珍しい二人組発見。
Hi, Agiha.
はよーす。ん？どうしたの、マーボー。
Masatsugu was sneakily hiding in my shadow.
別になんでもねえよ。あんま慣れ慣れしくすんなよ。エリちゃんが怒るから。
はいはい。かわいいかわいい彼女ですもんね。
Jokingly, Agiha deliberately keeps her distance from Masatsugu as she walks. Masatsugu comes up beside me and gives me a little poke in the
さっ
ribs.
きの話、アゲハには内緒な。
Well, what thing?
あいつがお前のレース見に行きたがってたって話。
Okay, I got it. Is it the sort of thing that needs to be kept a secret?
何男同士でベタベタしてんの？
ちげえよ。誰がこんなやつだ。ペッペ。
Ah, gross. You don't actually have to spit.
仲いいね。焼けちゃうわ。
バカアゲハ。
Yeah, don't say weird things like that. Yeah, to be honest, I kinda like Agiha. I'm not that such a big fan of Mabo, but I like Agiha. She seems like a good friend. One has to wonder, maybe she actually, different than Mabo, actually tried to keep contact with our protagonist. Today I didn't eat my lunchbox early. As I basked in this tiny sense of achievement and got my lunchbox out, Kotori had already disappeared from the classroom. Is she walking up and down in her wheelchair? That is cute as fuck. As she looked out into the hallway, she was moving back and forth as if she was saying, should I go forward? No. Maybe I should go back. Are you waiting for me? Letting out a cry not really befitting a pretty little girl, Kotori fanned herself with her left hand as if to calm her down.
脅かさないでくれる？
Sorry, I only wanted to speak to you, that's all. You're going, aren't you? To the garage?
ええ、そうよ。別にあなたを待ってたわけじゃないけど。
Baka. Okay, shall we go? You know what? I like Aho more than Baka. Because I don't know, like a good old Aho. Like Aho sounds really stupid, you know? Like I know Baka, you know, we all know it from anime and stuff. But you don't hear enough Aho in anime. I push her wheelchair on the way.
勝手に押さないで。
You know what I like? Some details. I in general like how the characters on screen move and stuff like that. This is like really well made, I think. But I actually like that the positions of the eye change according to where people look and stuff like that. That is some nice little details. Here, hold this, would you? I pass my bag to her.
こら、人を荷物置きみたいにするな。
And back to airplane
誰もい
room.
ないみたい。
Oh, the garage was open, but there was no one there. For some reason, I felt like Amane was always here, so it was a little surprising. Yeah, to be honest, I thought so too. Maybe she's just now spending time not making her grades worse, I don't know. The air conditioning is not turned on, so it's quite humid. What should we do?
どうするって言われても。
Kotori subconsciously put her hand on her stomach. Shall we have our lunch in here? I made one for you too, Kotori. Well, I mean, leftovers from breakfast. I mean, aren't bento boxes always usually leftovers? Or at least typically? Kotori didn't come to have any breakfast this morning, so she shouldn't have any way of knowing what food was served.
それも寮母の仕事なの？
Huh? No, I'm just meddling. 1, 2, 3. I put the 3 lunchboxes on the workbench. I went to the trouble of making one for Amane too, though. The air conditioner isn't turned on in the garage, so if I just leave it there, it'll go bad. There's a refrigerator, so I decide to put it in there. If I leave a note on the desk, she'll realize and then need it. Won't she? Wouldn't bet on it, my friend. Could you turn on the electric fan? Kotori turns on the nearby electric fan.
エアコンは
I can't find the remote controller. It's probably buried somewhere. Yeah, no, you know, that's Japan. Man, there are not many places in Germany that actually have air conditioners. You know, there were days back in when I was a child, like where 30 degrees Celsius was a lot. But thanks to climate change, I feel like we have these nearly 40 degrees summers every year. And I'm dying and dying and dying. For real, I'm so close to moving to, I don't know, to Scotland, to Finland, to Russia. Someplace where it's a little bit colder. We open the lunchboxes in the place that gets the full force of the wind from the electric fan.
何これカレー
You eat curry for breakfast? This morning's breakfast was curry. You don't like it?
普通カレーをお弁当にするかな
Yeah, I guess they don't. You can complain after you've eaten it. Kotori has a meek look on her face as she moves the cold curry towards her mouth. Yeah, I don't know. Cold. Okay, now I'm kinda on her side. Cold curry.
冷めてても美味しい
It would be good if we had a microwave, though. For a little while, the two of us quietly eat our curry. Today, there is no sheet covering the glider. I gazed at the simple, sleek shape of its body and thought it was beautiful. I imagined the aircraft cutting through the air as it flew. When riding a bicycle, your greatest enemy is the wind. Kotori's face seemed to say, what is this guy talking about all of a sudden? But I carry on regardless. The worst thing is when you have a headwind. While it is constantly pushing you back, you have to keep paddling. I faced the wind coming through the electric fan, set too strong, and I remember that feeling a little. The feeling of the wind gradually draining my stamina. That is why when we ride a bicycle, we try to find ways to reduce air resistance. Not just the shape of the bike or the helmet. During the race, we cooperate with the members of our other teams and form a group while riding. Oh yeah, that is actually very interesting. Whoopsie. Because, like in Germany, Tour de France is actually like a big thing. I don't know if cycling is a big thing in your country, but in Germany at least the Tour de France kinda is. And it's always interesting looking at the tactics they use, like going into we call it wind shadow in German. I actually don't know what it's called in English, but driving behind someone else so that they don't get hit by the full force of the wind and stuff like that. Or one person actually early on driving away from the group, and you always know in the end they'll catch him because he can't keep this up for a very long time. It's always interesting to watch cycling races. During the race, we cooperate with the members of other teams and form a group while riding. I thought that when riding a bike, it would be better if the wind wouldn't blow. But this thing rides the wind to fly.
ジェットエンジンもプロペラもないのにね
If we hadn't actually seen it flying that day, even with the real thing right in front of us, we wouldn't be able to imagine it flying. Again, are gliders that strange a thing in Japan? Speaking of which, Kotori, how do you know about gliders? She didn't really know that much about them. That was the first time she had seen a real one.
別にちょっと本で読んだだけ
Maybe in a German book. Ha! Somehow it seems like it's hard for her to answer, so I decide not to go any further. Speaking of books, there's a bookshelf here, lined with many books. Looking closely, they are all related to gliders or aircraft. I pick one up and take a look inside. It's all in English. I can't read it. It's not like my grades in English are bad, but with the level of English I have from studying at school, Reading academic papers is really tough. Yeah, feel you from last episode, my friend. Seems like Kotori is the same.
こっちの本は写真がいっぱい載ってるわ。
There was a book that had many photos of gliders, like a catalog. There are so many different types. The shape of the wings, the size, and so on. Even with gliders, there's so many different varieties.
見てこれ。
What is happening in this picture?
山の上を飛んでる。
Oh, that is actually beautiful. It looked so natural that I didn't really notice, but the glider was flying high enough that it could look down on the mountain. They can fly that high? Kotori and I, without realizing, both look at the glider sitting over there. Well, I also guess it kinda depends also on the point where you start. I suppose. With its wings removed, we couldn't really grasp the full size of it, but at a glance, it didn't seem all that different to the glider in the photo. Amane had said that it could go above the clouds. I wonder what it feels like to fly through the sky.
きっと最高の気分よ。上昇気流に乗って飛ぶなんて、まるで鳥になったみたいじゃない。
I wonder if she's actually in the wheelchair from birth or if she had an accident or something. Like, she really seems into the whole flying thing. So is that for her like kind of an escape? I mean, it could be an escape either or, yeah, right? If she... But I feel like if you were able to walk, it's even more difficult to accept not being able to walk anymore, and you look for another way of transportation, you know? That is kind of special to you, and maybe that's flying for her. I don't know, but it seems logical. After we finished our lunch boxes, we stayed for a little longer. We spent the time looking at books and admiring the glider. No, she actually didn't come. When the bell rang, it felt like the time to enjoy ourselves was over, and I felt a little sad.
何かしらこれ。
They call it a bell. Ah, no, that's not what she's talking about. Just as we were about to go back to the classroom, Kotori noticed a photo frame on Amane's desk. I wonder what this is. The weird thing was there was a photo frame, but no photo inside. An empty photo frame had been placed there. In her case, she probably managed to lose just the photo inside. Probably. What's up?
なんでもないわ。行きましょう。ここ暑くてたまんない。
That is suspicious as hell. But I don't know. Maybe this photo frame was a special one? The moment we stepped out the sauna-like garage, the air outside felt cool. Woo! I'm worn out. It's easy to say clean the bathroom, but I never thought it would be such a big job. Yeah, true that. Plus, there's no air conditioning in there, so I'm sweltering. The trouble is, if I don't do this every day during the summertime, then mold will start growing. I don't know. Is it that bad? I don't clean my bathroom every day. And I haven't seen mold there yet. It's not just about hygiene, it's kind of gross too. There's no way you can take a bath when there's mold growing in there. That's true though. I mean, if you have to, but it's not cool. Excuse me, Corona hitting me. On the display, it showed home. Hey, mother of mine.
もしもし葵、私だけど
What's up?
別にどうしてるかと思って。どう？順調？
I can't say it's going smoothly. I didn't think much of it when I accepted, but it turned out to be pretty tough.
そりゃそうよ。楽な仕事なんてないのよ。
Ah, I beg to differ. I can't think of one right now, but I beg to differ. Going to school every day and doing the work of a dorm mother is wearing me out. I realized this only after a few days. This is a lot of hard work.
でも今はその方がいいんじゃない？
Why?
嫌なこと思い出さずに済むじゃない。
Well, if that's what you think, Don't talk about it.
それともママが恋しくなった？
A mother like you. Yeah. She's the kind of mother who loves teasing her son. But did she get me to do this doll mother just because she was worried about me? I'm so busy that I don't have time to dwell on things. Who knows? Maybe that was her intention, but it's still kinda weird. Speaking in the hallway, the other boarders may have been able to hear me, so I went back to my room. We continue our silly parent-child conversation. My mother is a fiercely independent person and a hard-working career woman. Many things have been happening until recently. Well, they're still going on now, and we were living separately. I'm a bit too old to be missing my mother, though. It's enough for me to just speak to her from time to time. Really? I gotta be honest. One of the main things I hate about Corona is not being able to see my parents or my sister or at my... whenever I want to, you know. Like, I live in my own place, but I live close to my parents, so it never was a problem to just go there and say hi, you know. And now you have to have, every time you have to go there, you have to think, am I bringing Corona into this house and stuff like that? It's horrible. It's really, really horrible. Man, this is making me depressed. I kind of get it. Like, maybe if you're living apart from your mother for such a long time, you kind of get accustomed to it. But I don't know. I'm kind of I'm a mama's child.
学校の方はどうなの？
It's going fine. Ageha's there too.
アゲハちゃん、綺麗になったわね。こないだ久しぶりに会ってびっくりしちゃった。
Me too. She's like a proper girl now.
あら、そんな風に余裕ぶっこいてられるのも今のうちよ。アゲハちゃん、これからもっともっと綺麗になるわよ。愛想もいいし、気遣いもできるし、間違いなくモテるわね。
Jeez, cut it out. What are you talking about?
あらやだ、口が悪いわね。誰に似たのかしら。
Yeah, you. Would a mother usually tell her son to go chasing after girls? I mean, why not?
それじゃ、頑張ってね。トラブルがあったらすぐ言いなさい。
Sure.
それから、もし仕事が大変だったら、寮生に負担してもらってもいいのよ。超格安物件なんだから、そのくらいしてもらわないと。
I'll think about it.
それじゃ、おやすみ、葵ちゃん。
She called me that on purpose because she knows I don't like it, and then ended the call. My father is the one who chose to call me Aoi, but it's kind of a girl's name, so I was often teased about it, and it seems she still remembers. I put down my phone and take a look at the boarding students' roster. As for the boarders' jobs, cleaning their own room is a given. Then there is cleaning the hallways and entrance, as well as the dining hall. On the other hand, my jobs are to prepare breakfast and dinner, clean up afterwards, clean the bathroom and the garden, and other miscellaneous chores. It is actually pretty tough. Maybe I should just ask for some help. Even if I can't just get them to clean the bathroom, that would be a real lifesaver. Huh? Yuka. Are you still afraid of me? I thought you were like the oldest or something. Yuka, who is in the dining hall, the tall 4th grader and the one who'd been here the longest, seems surprised as I call out to her. If she's in 4th grade, she must be 19? Or something like that?
何かしら、みなせく。
Aoi, huh? Oh well. Can I ask you a question? I lay out the roster that I was just looking at on the table where Yuka is sitting. Yuka, who should be used to seeing this, looks at it with curiosity. Kotori doesn't have her name on the job roster. Starting with Kanako, then Yuka, there are 4 names, but Kotori is not there.
だってあの子
Yuka looks towards the dining hall door as she speaks.
足が不自由だから。
I see. So that is why. Thank you.
いえ。
Seems kind of unreasonable, to be honest. I mean, yeah, of course you can't, like, bathroom cleaning, like, cleaning the bathtub and stuff like that might be difficult for her. But there are plenty of other things she might be able to do. Jesus, what is this sound? It sounds like I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it won't stop. So I will just end the episode. Oh wait, maybe if I... No, it won't stop. Ah, there we go. Jesus Christ, that was going on my nerves. It sounds like chalk on a chalkboard. Jesus. Yeah, so that was actually interesting what Yuka said. Like, I feel taking her disability too much into account is not good. I think she should do some chores if everyone else does them. Right? Like, otherwise she's kind of left out in a weird way, right? Now well. I guess Aoi-chan thinks so too, because I bet he'll give her some chores, one or the other at least. But we'll see about that in the next episode. Probably, maybe we see it in 10, I don't know. So, thank you everybody for watching, and come back for the next episode. Bye bye!